Hello, all. I hope you had a good day. Ooh, I've had a very powerful day. I have indeed. Where to begin? Every Wednesday we have a sales meeting, lunch meeting, and it's very nice. The owner of the company, he pays for our lunches, and it's very, very nice. It's very, very nice. And, we do presentations. I did mine last week. And another young lady did hers today, and she killed it. She did a phenomenal job. I'm like, you go, girl. You freaking skyrocketed well over me. I loved it. And, just the things I pick up on in reference to the conversations and the innuendos and the hidden, and it's just really easy to read people. It really is. For me, it is. And it's a hard thing. I really struggle with it. I really do. I really, really do. It's something I've struggled with my entire life. That's why I keep to myself a lot. I really don't do much. I keep to myself. It is very hard for me. Because I know I'm a different breed. I'm a lot to take in. Particularly when you can't, manipulate me, you can't persuade me, your creative words or creative this, like it doesn't register. I mean, I see it, but I just don't buy into it. Now I can play a fool and I can play the game. When you're raised by manipulators, it's very easy to pick up on them. Like I told my mom earlier, I was like, it's crazy to me. I was like, I grew a backbone in the last year. Everybody's upset that I grew a backbone, by the grace of God. But it's like, what did one expect? What was the alternative? What was the alternative? Phone me and let me know. Well, I know what you wanted the alternative to be, but God was like, no, that's not what we're doing here. And that's just the brass grass. That is the truthing. It really straight is. And I really do hate it for that. In my world, I don't have enemies. I don't have ops. Now, I know people choose to make that of me, and I hate that. I just don't entertain ignorance when it's around me or, whatever. I just don't. I allow people to do or say or be however they want to be. And I'm not going to meet them there. I just refuse. I refuse. Like I told my coworker, I was like, it is crazy to me to work in a business atmosphere and the lack of professionalism. I mean, it's literally like high school at times. Sometimes I feel like, again, my personal story, my personal testimony, my personal thoughts, my personal opinions. You don't have to agree with me, nor watch me. By any means, you don't have to do any of those, right? But it's one of those things, and I will not conform to the way that I have to conform to fit in with the cool kids. I never fit in with the cool kids, and I've come to realize that I'm just not designed to be cool. I'm not designed to be cool. I'm designed to be me and rock how I walk. Rock how I walk. I like that. And when it comes to my son, the strength that I carry within myself in reference to just principles alone, based off everything that I know with every beacon fiber bone of my body in reference to what has been done to me and my son, whether he can come out and say it or not, he don't have to. I already know. Intuitively, we connect with our children. We know our children better than anybody. Every parent out there knows that. So why one would think, let's take the kid and let's go that route, was just ignorant. You should have put me on your team. However, and so an eye for an eye on that one. You picked the wrong mom and you picked the wrong kid. You did. And principle is principle. And you've teetered on that line quite a bit. You really have. You bend the rules to fit your narrative. Lord knows, in all facets, nooks and crannies, the political arena, the judicial system, the gag orders, this and that, I mean, it's everywhere. It was funny. I was telling my coworker about how I filed a complaint with the FBI And like an hour or two later, my local law enforcement showed up. He was amazed. He's like, wow, that's crazy. I was like, you and me both, brother. I was like, what's crazier is how the officer treated me at the door. He lied to me. He didn't lie to me, but he played stupid, and I called him out. You know, and that's just a scenario of when things really kind of opened up for me and recognizing the full scope of how big it is. Because could you imagine the amount of complaints FBI receives in a matter of a day? And so I submit one, and then the next thing I know, a few hours later, I got a deputy at my door. That's pretty intense. That's a pretty quick turnaround, one would say, right? And so, I mean, it's just one of those things. So these are things that came to me today. If you aren't loyal to yourself, how can you provide loyalty to anyone else? Truly, you have to ask yourself that. If you are not truly loyal to yourself, loyal to how you truly feel, how you truly think, how you truly believe, what you stand on, loyalty-wise in reference to your morals, your values, your ethics, your dignity, your grace, your humility. Do you truly stand on loyalty for yourself so then you can provide that to others? Because you have to adopt that for yourself. And if you're not truly being loyal to yourself, I don't see where it's possible to be loyal to anyone else, anyone or anything. And see, so often enough, we have different facets in the world, whether that's in the business arena, the religious groups, you know, the personal life, your family, this and that. They want you to be loyal, right? But you're not even in a position to be loyal to yourself. So you don't even know what that looks like. Not to mention 99% of the time, they're not being loyal to themselves. So you have two people expecting loyalty when they're not even providing that to themselves. And see, that's the imbalancing scales. That's why you have so many people out there expecting loyalty, but not providing it. Why aren't they providing it? Because they can't provide it to themselves. And see, I'm finally at a place now in my life where it's like, I provide loyalty to myself. I don't look to anything in the exterior world to provide me loyalty. God and the divine provide that to me all day, every day. And so I don't look for loyalty outside of me. And so because I've adopted that within myself, every beacon, fiber, bone of my body, I provide that into everything I walk into, everything I feel, every interaction, every business or whatever. I will be loyal to you because I'm capable of doing that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to take your crap or allow disrespect. I'm going to hold you accountable as I hold myself accountable. Period. You're not going to catch me acting like a high school mean girl. I can tell you that in a business atmosphere. You won't ever catch me doing that. Children in business environments, #weeds. You know, oh my gosh. My previous coworker would always say, oh, she's so much in the weeds, and I'd have no idea what she was doing. That came up today at the meeting. That, you know, children in a business environment. That's all I got to say about that. This is my favorite right here, and I'm going to end on here. I don't think I'm going to make another video tonight. I'm going to make dinner. My parents are going grocery shopping. I like to do acts of service, and I like to operate the way that I do. The way that I do and works best for me. Not to mention the amount of, you know, censorship and all that crap I receive and how much it takes me to upload these darn videos. Right is right, wrong is wrong, and greed is greed. There's no gray areas. None. When you walk with God. God is very simplistic. He is. God and Jesus, the divine source, the Most High, they are very simplistic. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Greed is greed. Ego is ego. Flesh is flesh. We can keep going down this road. Right? Loyalty is loyalty. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Why do you know what's right and wrong? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you got the Christ conscience inside of you. You have the Holy Spirit residing inside of you. You know what's right and wrong. You know what you think. You know what you do. You know your business deals. You know your complex business plan. You know? We all know that. You know it. I know it. We all know from the tippity top, the plans and all that. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. And so you have to get to a place in your life, because the reality is a reality, but you have control of how you respond and what you